Hey, Aida.
Hey, Selly.
Hey, what you doing? Where you at?
I'm at home, like I think probably, hopefully, most of everyone watching this right now. Ready for AfroQueer Live Fest. I cannot wait. I have been living for this moment. The week has arrived.
It is going to be We are here today to welcome you all to AfroQueer Live Fest. I'm Selly, the host of AfroQueer Podcast.
And I'm Aida Holly-Nambi, reporter and producer of AfroQueer.
So we've been getting so many messages asking when the new season of AfroQueer is going to drop. When are we going to put some more content on our podcast? And we decided that what we were going to do is put together the best collection of queer African musicians, poets, some people showing you how to make chapati that we can think of.
Yoga.
Some yoga. And also for us to say, hey, how's everybody doing? And we are going to answer some questions from the audience as well. Mm-hmm. So should we get started?
Let's get started.
Okay. So we sent out a call. Well, Rachel sent out a call. And she asked for as many questions as possible. So I have written these questions out and put them into this beautiful bowl. And I'm going to pick at random these questions from the listeners. Drum roll, please. So the first question comes from an anonymous person, and it says, how do you stay healthy and mentally and physically during the quarantine? So Aida, how are you staying healthy over there?
That's a very good question. I think part of staying healthy for me means kind of going easy on myself. So I know there's a lot of pressure for people to be, getting COVID bod ready and all kinds of stuff out there. People just winning at life. And that can be sort of mentally taxing. So my response is to just hush out all the superheroes and all the people who are really winning at quarantine and sort of go easy on myself. I try to lap it around my compound a few times a day so that I'm not completely static. And I try to go a little bit easy on the temptation to have, wine time earlier and earlier in the day.
How's that going for you?
I mean, it's pretty good. I'm down to every other day a glass of wine by around like 5 p.m., which I feel like is somewhat respectable. How about you?
Somewhere all the time, though.
Especially online. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, me, I have been, I have a spin bike here, so I've been spinning like mad because I can't really leave the house. It causes me to feel a lot of tension, so I have to release it, and so I do a lot of exercise. But I'm also a really big meditator, so I've been doing a lot of meditation. And just trying to calm myself down. I've definitely cut down on some of the news. I think a lot of the news was causing me a tremendous amount of anxiety. And so I had to kind of put myself, like, how you're having one glass of wine? I'm like one news article every other day. Because I can't.
That's really commendable.
Yeah, because it's overwhelming. So that's pretty much how I've been keeping myself sane. And then also just working on the next season of AfroQueer. It's been really great and a nice distraction from what's going on. So you ready for the next question?
I'm ready.
All right. What are you doing to stay connected to the community at this time? And this is also from Anonymous.
Another great question. Mm-hmm. I think that luckily, so much of our community is online, and where people don't have access to internet, I think the phone call, which is something that was almost obsolete in my life, to be honest. Like when my phone used to ring, I'd be like, why? It's 2020. What are you doing?
You never answer your phone. That's true.
Never.
I'd have to message you like, no, really, you got to answer. I got to tell you something.
I'm literally like, what are you trying to tell me that can't be said in a text message of less than 2 sentences? But so the phone has made a heavy comeback, and Zoom dinners are a thing. Sort of say, hey, I'm gonna prep my dinner. I'll see you at 7:30 or something like that. And
I have a question for you though. Zoom dinner. So you having dinner with a bunch of
mm,
people all at the same
mm,
time, but you
yes.
hate when people chew in front of you. How are you handling that?
Well, luckily there's the
Don't
mute
diet. Like you
the
literally
mute button.
run out the room if people are chewing.
I know, there should be. I mean, to be honest, I may or may not also be always keeping a second screen of like online backgammon when I just can't be bothered. So it's a negotiation. I mean, I think I'm working on community connection. It's not perfect yet. How about you?
I've just been calling people that I haven't talked to in a while. I've had time to catch up with people, check in with people. It's actually been really, really amazing for some of my old friendships that we kind of take each other for granted, or because we travel so much for work, I would like pop into their city and see them. But now, no traveling, so I have to pick up the phone and say, how are you doing? Really trying to stay connected with a lot of my friends in New York because, New York is getting hit very hard. And they are in tiny, tiny apartments going crazy, but I call them at least once a week and, try to entertain them. And then my family is all over the world. So we have a WhatsApp group, we share information, talk to my nieces as much as I can, my mom, my sister, everybody. So it's just been a lot of WhatsApp phone calls, Zoom. I don't know if I can do Zoom dinner. I think I would just like wander off. Like you would see me like this. Huh? If I'm having dinner with you, we need to be in front of each other in person. But that's an interesting idea. Maybe I'll give it a shot. But what else?
It kills two birds.
What'd you say?
It kills two birds with one stone.
That's true. So you basically just try to check off your list of people that you need to interact with. I see what you're doing. But the LGBT community, there's so many people doing lives. A lot of people are posting more than ever before. I feel like I'm really able to stay in contact with people. There's a lot of different, I know Outright's launched something where they talk to people who are dealing with COVID stuff all over the world. So it's been like a kind of more of a ramp up of digital communication for LGBT communities all over the place. So that's been really nice. And I think that what we're doing with this live is going to be part of that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So how did you guys come up with the style and structure of AfroQueer?
That's a good question. I mean, from what I remember, because it's been several years now, I think, since we brainstormed it. But
who would have thought we would be doing season 3?
I know, incredible. So it's been about 3 years, hasn't it?
Yep.
I have been an avid consumer of podcasts for a very long time. I don't actually even remember when. I started listening to podcasts, and I think I've always felt that a sort of rich, reported, narrated, immersive storytelling experience for audio was like the one thing that I didn't feel I had experienced telling stories that I was interested in listening to. So I think that's it's been our favorite genre, maybe. And that's maybe how it was born.
Yeah, I think we really like reported content, like we like the idea of going out and getting people's voices and getting the sounds of the places and creating a audio landscape for people so they're transported into the story. And it was a choice because we just like that kind of, I know I do, and I think you do too, that kind of audio design. And we're also journalists, a lot of us. And so to us, and storytellers. And so I think in terms of telling, really good queer African stories, this was the best way that we thought we could do it. And so that's how we came up with it. Yeah, it was actually quite organic. It's always so unusual to have, a team of producers and we all kind of like the same thing. So we like the same kind of stuff. So there you go. With variations.
With variations is an important caveat.
Yes, because I was like, wait a minute. So the next question is a question that's actually for you, Aida. People want to know, what is your advice for love in the time of Corona?
Yes, that is a very good question. And it's a twofold answer. one, you know, there's some people who will find themselves in lockdown and they already have their loved ones with them. And so I have some advice for them. And then there's advice for if you do not have your loved one with you. So love in the time of Corona, if you are booed up. I think the intensity of, you know, a global pandemic, along with, you know, being confined in tight quarters, is a recipe that apparently has been producing two kinds of things, Corona babies or COVID divorces. So how can you,
avoid
how can you
both?
both, or both, one earlier, then the other one a little later, depending on how long it goes on. But basically, I think that if you're in a relationship, you should maybe try, I mean, it's wonderful to have, as you know, 16 hours a day suddenly, a waking day with your partner when you previously only had 2 hours. But after a little while, that might get more intense than you can manage. So my advice is try to still carve out your me time so that you don't become intolerable as well, even while you're thinking that they're becoming intolerable. And also to just...
I'm noting some, are you speaking from experience, Aida?
I am. I mean, I'm lucky enough that I feel like there's no amount of time spent with my partner that is too much. And so I feel like, but I can imagine that, you know, what it might be like for other relationships. And also just from a lot of my friends who've been calling me, telling me they're going stir crazy. And my advice for them has been to just remember that they're probably also driving their partner crazy, and to try to put their best foot forward. Then, for those people who are not booed up and are like, why has this lockdown come to just infringe upon all of the, you know, romance that you had planned and lined up? That's where that lovely concept of the Zoom date can come in handy. I strongly recommend it. And you'll also find that when you don't have like the experience of the physical contact, you might be able to really get to know and figure out all the things you can't overlook about that person you're considering dating. So take it as like an extensive old school dating style.
Like
And
that
try to...
Netflix show, The Circle, but you can see each other, but you just can't.
I don't know.
Yeah, you didn't watch it. Okay.
I don't know Netflix. I only know podcasts.
Need to make a Corona dating podcast so that you'll know. I think that's all really great advice.
What's your advice?
My advice is really similar. I think if you're booed up, I mean, you learn so much about your partner that you did not realize when you're with them literally 24 hours a day. And I am speaking from personal experience. So what has worked for us is we've had to create like a schedule too, like who's doing the dishes, who's cleaning the floor, who's making dinner. Because I mean, it just gets out of hand. And it's like, I've cleaned the floor for like 3 weeks. Like, what are you doing? Like all kinds of stuff is happening. So we had to make a schedule, you know, that kind of stuff. We had to kind of actually act like we had some structure to our lives. And that really helps a lot. But I do think it's been it's been fun because we've gotten to kind of like spend so much more time together in so many ways. So I've also just like, I think, fallen in love again, which has been kind of a pleasant surprise, or maybe fallen in love more. Who knew?
Yeah.
So that's also been like really, really nice. I think if I was a single person right now, I think I would just be like trying to, like you said, Zoom dates, and then also maybe like WhatsApp chat. I would be doing a lot of chat, you know, because I think there's a lot to like the imagination that I would be taking advantage of right now, and like, you know, kind of working on my communication skills. I'm gonna be macking by phone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might be on the apps, but I would say, listen, we're not meeting until this is over. So we're gonna have to stay in the app and just, you know, get to know each other. And I think you're right. I think it can create a situation where you might actually get to know someone beyond the ideas of like what's going to happen in the physical. So take advantage of that. And then you can meet when this is all over and see if what you felt was real and physical.
Yeah.
But thanks everybody. So Ida is gonna like get you all so hyped up about who's performing this week for AQ Live Fest. Ida, let them know.
Yes. Let me tell you. So right after us, there's Kim Boy, who's going to be doing amazing R&B and soul acoustically. Tomorrow, Moose is going to teach you how to make some amazing comfort food COVID chapatis. Not COVID chapatis, chapatis during COVID-19 pandemic. Difference. We've got the amazing Cat Legos, poetry and music, which we're super excited about. On Wednesday, there's more poetry by Frequency. There's a singer, songwriter, Atieno Otieno, who's just gonna blow your minds. We're gonna be back on Thursday, checking in with AfroQueer podcast. And the amazing secret weapon behind all of our social media, DJ Miss Ray, who happens to also be a phenomenal DJ, will be taking over the sound waves. And then on Friday, Mosaic is going to give you the best yoga experience that you have been craving, along with a live DJ set from DJ Doo-Wop. So this week is going to be fire.
Yes, so tune in and get your feel of queer African amazingness, magic. And we will be looking out for you guys' feedback or your questions for Thursday in our DMs. So just write to us. So,
yeah.
As we love to say on our sign out for AfroQueer, thanks for listening.